If you haven't seen it before, the Panamera multifocal sensor system from Dallmeier is something of a revelation. Welcome to Wembley Stadium, the latest stop on the Dallmeier Panomera Roadshow. Covering 16 cities in Europe and 4 cities in Great Britain, the Panamera Tour is giving installers, end users and consultants the chance to see the system firsthand. We're here with James Walker and Stephen Marsh from Dallmeier. So you've got the truck here come to Wembley. Where have you been taking the truck so far?
Since it's arrived in the UK, we're doing what we call the Great Britain Tour. We're taking it from Hampden Park in Glasgow, and then we stopped off at Everton in Liverpool, and then Bristol City in Bristol, our hometown. And now we're finishing off today in Wembley. The objective really is to bring the Panamera multifocal sensor technology to the customer. We want to go out and make sure that the awareness of the product is there for the end user and also, of course, for the installer.
What is it about the technology that people like?
It's the fact that you can see an entire scene from one installation point. And with that, you're guaranteed a resolution throughout that entire scene as well.
Traditionally in a car park such as this at Wembley or any large area really, PTZs or PTZ dome cameras have been used before. And inevitably whenever something happens, the PTZ is usually pointing in the wrong direction. With Panamera, your cameras are never pointing in the wrong direction, and we capture everything all the time. And it's recorded at a very high frame rate of 12.5 frames per second, each individual sensor. So we're always getting all the information that's required.
I mean, what goes into the technology that makes it, special for end users?
It's the ease of operation and allowing to see the whole scene from one point of view. So there's an overview window where you can see absolutely everything that's going on, and from there you can bring up various detail windows. So you can have one operator looking in the bottom left corner of the view and another operator looking at the top right, or indeed one operator can look at the bottom left and top right simultaneously.
We've been trialling the product with various end users since roughly about March 2012. So far we have had our first order for our first stadium, and that's with Everton Football Club in Liverpool. We've also had specification on a number of seaports, which tenders are now out in process.
During a trial of Panamera at one stadium, Dallmeier was given the opportunity to test his camera against a PTZ camera in a real-life incident.
And this actually happened on one of our demos at a stadium. And a flare went off, and they were able to zoom in with the PTZ camera and see the man waving the flare. During our demonstration, our Panamera camera was pointed in the same direction, and we utilised it to sort of dial in on our playback image as well. And as it transpired, the man that was waving the flare wasn't actually the same man that had lit the flare. The flare was lit by someone else and then passed to him. So because we have the same detail in playback as well as live, that allowed us to give extra information and allowed multiple arrests to be made. During the same incident, the perpetrator tried to then go up into another section of the crowd, and we were able to seamlessly follow him whilst having another detail view looking at the man that had lit the flare.
Just trialling the system at a stadium, you actually achieved a couple of arrests.
By the time the traditional PTZ had got there, the police were sent in the first time and a wrong arrest was made, and we were able to point that out to the police. Sorry, he wasn't involved in the incident, it was these other two guys. Here's where they are now. What
are the advantages then in Panamera in terms of incident management?
Yes, everything has been recording all the time, even through playback. We give a nice little feature where we can take snapshots or even little quick time recording clips for operators if they see something going on, they think they might want to have a quick look at it later.
Panamera is unlike anything else on the market. With this new lens and multi-sensor concept, the resolution never falls below certain parameters. To learn more about the Panamera effect, visit the Panamera website.